Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. So let me share my screen. Yeah. So we'll be starting with arrays. So we have left here, right? So we'll continue from this part. And after completing the summary session, Danya will take another instructor. She will take the practice assignment questions, programming practice assignment questions. Okay. So arrays introduction, you already know, right? What arrays are, why we actually use arrays to store multiple objects. It's like a collection. So we can have different types of arrays. You just have to specify the data type. If you want an int array, specify it as int. And then you can create in two different ways by using new keyword or just by initializing uh, on the go, right? So I'll take a program and we'll try to access the elements of the array. Okay, so what you can see here is an int array, an integer array. So the data type we have specified, then the square bracket. Here we have given the elements along with the declaration, right? So we have an array of 5 elements. So the index start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what we can do is we'll try to loop through the elements of the array and print each of the elements. Okay, so we can use a for loop. So for loop is just like the for loop, the syntax is similar to C programming syntax. So you can understand just like this. This part is called as initialization. And here we do some incrementation. Sorry, this is the condition. And here we do the incrementation. Okay. So here what I have is 0, right? So 0 basically point to the first element. This is actually the index. So we are specifying the loop variable I as an int. So for each integer variable I, then we'll try to see where we are using this I. And first it has this value 0. Okay. And then it will check whether I is less than int array dot length. Basically, whether it is less than length of our array. Okay. And this is the incrementation part I plus plus, which will be done after the execution of this block, this for loop. Okay. So here, first thing, we have I equal to 0. Then we will check whether I is less than length or not. Yes, in this case, yes, because 0 is less than 5. 5 is the length of the array. And we enter into our for loop. Okay. And here what we are doing, we are printing int array of I. Basically, we are accessing the element of array with this square bracket means we are accessing the element of the array. So int array of 0, which is 10. So 10 will be printed along with a small space. Okay. And here we are using print, just print. So it won't go to the next line. So it will remain in the same line. And once we complete this line, then the next thing is we'll go to this part. Okay, here I will become I plus plus, which means incrementation of I 0 plus 1, 1. Again we'll come here. Okay, now yeah, anyway, I is modified. Now we'll come to the condition. Condition is I less than array dot length. So I plus plus is now 1. I is 1. 1 less than 5. 1 less than 5 is true. Then we are printing int array of 2. Sorry, int array of 1, right? Int array of 1. So we'll print 20. Now again we'll come here and I will become 2 now. We'll check 2 less than 5 or not. Yes, it is. So we'll print int array of 2, which is 30. Similarly 40, 50. So we'll reach I value will become, when we reach the end of the array, I value will become 5, right? So when I become 5, 5 less than 5 will become a false and will come out of the for loop. Finally, we will print a line. Next line, we'll go to next line. So what will happen? 10 space, 20 space, 30 space, 40 space, 50, and we'll print the next line. That's how the printing is done here. Is that clear? Okay. So next part is how to get the length of the array. We already know we have this length attribute that is in array. So using that, we are able to get the size of the array, int array dot length. Just remember that this is not a method. This is an attribute, a variable kind of thing. So that's why we don't have any parentheses over here, just name of the variable. Now,
Ma'am, sorry, in this part, like when do we use the brackets after length and when we don't? For strings, we don't, for strings, we do.
yeah, for strings, we don't have attribute. For strings, we have just string method length. But for array, we have attribute. So whenever you create an array, what happens is an object of array will be created, right? And there will be some instance variable called length for the array, and that will be initialized with the size of the array that you create. That's why we are able to access the size of the array using this length variable.
Sorry, ma'am, can you repeat one more time?
Yeah. So I'll say okay something more about arrays in Java. So basically, arrays are not primitive types in Java, and they are objects that we create in heap. But when you see the creation of array, this is different from normal creation of objects, right? So we give this square bracket and then the variable name, like it's a little different. So whenever you create an array like this, JVM itself will kind of create a class that is to create an integer array, and it will create the object. Two things. And and whenever an object of an array is created, what happens is the length attribute of the array. For example, you think it like we have a class array and inside that we have a variable called length. And when you create an object of array, the length attribute of the array will be initialized with the size of the array. So in our case, the size is 5, right? So length equal to 5. It will be stored in the memory as length equal to 5. So we are able to access it like this. We are simply accessing the variable using the dot operator. You get it?
Yes, yes. And but first, what happens for strings, ma'am?
Yeah, and for string is a normal class in Java. Like for string, when you create an object of string, basically it doesn't have a length variable, okay, but it has a method called length. Maybe it's like public, some void, something like not void, it's length, right? Some int, some length. We'll see how what the exact.
That's because it's a
Uh,
method we use braces
yeah,
after. Okay, okay, ma'am, I got it. Ma'am, please continue.
you, okay, fine. So it's a method itself. It's not an attribute, it has a method itself. See, public int length. So it returns the length of the string. So we are calling it using the string object.
Got it, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, now accessing each of the element of the array. So each of the element of the array means, right? 10 is an element, 20 is an element. We call each of the object as element. And to get the first element, use the index 0. We have already seen this. Square bracket, give the index value. To get the last element, you can directly use this length minus 1. Right? When we have size 5, it is int array of 4. And then this is very similar to list operations that you have already learned in Python. And this is giving a new value to an existing element of an array. Int array of 2, we are modifying it to 35. Just giving an assignment. Here again, trying to print all those elements, nothing new. Next is, yeah, taking the sum of all elements in the array. Normal way of doing this, right? Sum equal to 0, we have a variable and looping through each of the elements and then adding each element to the sum variable. Sum equal to sum plus int array of whatever the element that we get. This is a string array. So as Java is a statically typed language, every time you have to specify the data type. When you have to create a string array, you make it as string, then square bracket, then give the variable name. Okay, same, nothing new. So here we have the output elements of the array, length of the array, first element, last element, elements of array after modification. We gave 35 to the third element, right? And then some elements of string array. This is printed. Is that clear? I take silence as clear, okay? Okay. Now, after arrays, yeah, we'll start with control flow. So, we already know about if blocks, then for loop, while loop, right? In addition to that, we have do while and also switch. And we have two different kinds of for loop that we'll see. So I'm not going to explain you why if and else all these are used, as you already know this. I'll just uh, show you the syntax in Java. Okay. Okay. Suppose what we are going to do here, x and y. We are trying to find which is greater than which. Okay, the other element. So we have int x 10, y equal to 20, and if x greater than y, we have to print x is greater than y. If x less than y, then x is less than y, and if they are equal, then you have to print x is equal to y. Okay, so you see here how we have if we are starting with if, and then we have to use open bracket, round bracket, and inside that you have to put the condition. Okay, a small difference from Python is you have to, this bracket is mandatory, and we don't have any colon over here. We directly start with braces, curly braces. So this curly braces actually defines the block, this particular block. Instead of indentation and the colon, we start with curly braces and we close it here. Okay, put the condition inside the square bracket, inside the round bracket, then the curly braces. Okay, and then we don't have elif. Instead, what we will do is we'll use else combined with if. Okay, now this will work like an elif. Else if x less than y. Again, we have this block, and here printing x is less than y. And then the final else, normal else only. Here we are printing x is equal to y. So in this case, 10 is, okay, we'll trace this. 10 and 20, right? 10 greater than 20 is a false. So we will not enter into this block. Then the next condition we have is else if 10 less than 20. Yes, this is a true. Then we will enter into this block. So we'll print x is less than y. And whatever that is followed by this particular condition is skipped, right? So we are getting x is less than y. Is that clear? Okay, and one more thing is, if you have only a single statement inside the if block, then you can remove this curly braces. This will also work. Okay.
Ma'am, please repeat this part. Single statement as in like.
Single statement means, okay, I'll add one more statement. So whatever separated by semicolon, it can be called as a statement. This can be called as a statement. So if you have only one such statement, one such line, we can say. See, now we have two statements here. So if we have more than one statements, then curly braces is mandatory. Okay.
Okay, got it, ma'am.
Understood. Okay. Yeah. If you have a single statement, you can remove this. Okay. And
Ma'am, more than one statement requires that curly bracket, right?
right. Yeah.
Ma'am, when we have two curly braces, like for inner one and one is yes, so it's the main public main bracket. Okay.
Oh, okay. This one, huh? This is main methods bracket and this is class, main class bracket, closing one.
Okay. Okay.
So next is, yeah, we don't have def for function definition. That I think you might have already noticed, right? If we have to write a function like sine, okay, it doesn't have something like def in front of the function. It has this return type, and it is, if it is static, then you have to mention static, then the access modifier, then the arguments with data type. Next, while loop and do while loop. So while loop, when we use loops, when we have to repeat a particular block of code more than one time, right? And we can either use while loop or do while loop or for loop, right? Okay, let's see while loop. So what we'll do, while, then the condition, then we will put everything inside the parenthesis, curly braces. Okay, so we'll see an example. I think while loop, yeah, here we have. So the initialization part that we have seen in the for loop, that comes outside here, int number equal to 1. And here, after starting while, then we will give the condition while number is less than or equal to 5. Do something here, and you can do the incrementation part inside the while loop itself. Okay, so number equal to 1, we start with number equal to 1, and here we are checking whether number is less than or equal to 5. So 1 is less than or equal to 5 is a true. So we will reach inside the while loop. So we'll print that particular number. 1 will be printed. Here we have print ln, so it will print next line character. Next, here number plus plus 1 will become 2 now. Sorry, number will become 2 now. Now 2 less than or equal to 5. Now we are printing number again. So 2 will be printed. Now number will become 2 plus 1, 3. Again, 3 less than or equal to 5 is a true. So we'll print it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What about 5? 5 less than or equal to 5. That will also be true, right? So we'll print 5 as well. Next number will become 6. So 6 less than or equal to 5 will become a false. So when the condition becomes false, we'll exit the loop. So we'll come here, we'll come outside the while loop. We don't have anything after this. So that's fine. So what we'll get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Is that okay?
Ma'am, while using the while function, we are also giving the range here
Yeah.
because that's the difference, right? In the for loop, we give the range, but in the while loop we just give a condition. And do we also take the last uh, number of the while loop?
Last number in the sense?
Means the in the range the last number is
No,
okay.
no, no,
Okay,
not
this is a
like that, not
condition.
like that.
Okay.
This is a condition. We can change it according to our wish. So if number is less than 5, now 5 won't be taken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, we give any condition we can give here, not just numbers. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is while loop, and we'll see do while loop. Okay, one more thing. If the condition become false in the beginning itself, then we won't get anything, right? Number equal to 1, and here I am checking whether number is greater than 5 or not. This is a false. Now, as it is false, nothing will be executed inside the while loop. We'll come to the end of the program, right? So in this case, nothing will be printed now. Okay, now let us see do while loop. So in do while loop, you see we have number equal to 1 initialized here, and then we are starting do, then the block, and then while condition. So just read it like a English statement. So we have number equal to 1, do all these things while this condition holds true. Okay, so in that case, when number equal to 1, okay, now we reached here, print number. We haven't checked any condition, right? Now 1 will be printed out and number will become 2, and then here we are checking whether number is less than or equal to 5. So in the first case, whether the condition is true or false, this block will be executed. That is the difference between while loop and do while loop. Okay. So in this case, the output will be same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose I change this condition to a false condition, number greater than 5. You see number equal to 1, and here number will become 2, 2 greater than 5, and here what we will get is we will get 1 as the output. But in the while loop, we won't get anything, right? You understood
Ma'am,
the
why we
difference?
use this do while loop?
In a real world scenario, if we have something like
Yes.
this where we have to execute something at least once, even though the condition will become false.
Uh, will
So
it give an error if something is not getting executed?
no. So this block will be executed once, even though the condition will become false in this line.
Yes, but why it is required to give
Mm,
at least one execution?
maybe we can think it of like I don't know whether they do this actually in login or sign up thing. For example, if we are giving some input which is actually false, then it has to execute, right? So in that case, maybe so in real world
Sorry.
scenarios, some login case of thing, if an application is requiring, we have to give some input, right?
Ma'am,
Okay.
in
So
system, hello, ma'am.
yeah.
Println is there now, ma'am. There we already initialize with number one. So
Mm,
without testing with the condition, we will enter into the loop now in case of do
mm,
while. So
yeah.
as per the system, println number one only will get print, and the condition is not satisfied, so it won't be go further.
No, next it won't be printed.
So because of that, only one is just the output.
Yeah, right. So a good example, I'll try to get it in the tomorrow session, okay? For do while
Okay.
loop in real
Okay.
world scenario. Yeah. So let's go with next one, for loop. For loop, we have seen one type of for loop where we had initialization, then the terminating condition, then the update operation. So this we have seen, right? This works just like our range for I in range and some kind of number that we add in Python. And we have something similar to the for each loop. We call it as enhanced for loop in Java, where we'll loop through set of elements, collection. Say this. Okay, see this. We have an integer array with these elements, and in this for loop, this is a normal for loop that we have already seen. For int I equal to 0, I less than int array dot length, then I plus plus print each of the elements. And in enhanced for loop, how it is done? For each element in the array, int array, print the element. So we have the element itself. It's like for I in L in Python. It is very similar to that. We take each of the element itself from the array and printing it. The syntax you have to see here, we use a colon to separate each of the element and the collection here. And you have to specify what kind of element is present in the array. So for each integer element in the int array, print element. You'll get same output. Is that clear? We are not accessing it with the index. Directly we are accessing using the for each loop.
For each is taking. Sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat?
It's like it is taking each of the element itself from the array, not accessing through the index. So we are trying to access each element itself. So that is how it is defined, this for loop.
Ma'am, will this run for strings also?
Yeah, it will help for string also. Yeah. You can use it for any collection. We'll use it everywhere. So by week 6, you'll learn about all other collection. So then you will use this there.
So how is it different from the for loop, ma'am?
So for loop, you see, you are trying to access it using a loop variable, right? So you have to give the initialization and the condition. Here you see the condition operation and the update and all these things. But in this case, we are
Yes.
not giving all those condition and all. It's like you can assume, like think it of like we have the array, we have this array, and we are pointing each of the element itself at a time. One
Okay.
element at a time. Yeah.
It gives easy access to the array
Elements.
elements. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
This could be the equivalent for Python for in.
Right. Right. Just like for I in
Py-
L, accessing I, print I. Yeah.
Python for in.
What he meant is we write like this, right? For I in L.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Wait. So we have the list. Each I is the element that we have in the list itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So here each I means each element. The variable name is element here. We can keep anything. This is the list L int array. But the syntax we don't have in. Instead we have a colon here. We can think it of like in. Okay. So we have completed while as well. Now we will see
Ma'am,
switch.
in case
Yeah.
of for loop, we are explicitly telling it that it should be a int, but while using the for each, it can be a string also. It can be some other way, data type also, right?
So you meant here, right? So in this case, for an enhanced for loop, so you have to specify the data type of the element that you have in the collection that you give. So if it is a string array, then it will be string element, whatever the variable for the string array. If it is something else, you have to give the data type here. But in the
Can
case
it
of
be a mixture
no,
of data
arrays
type?
can take only homogeneous elements.
Okay.
Yeah. And here too, you give the index. In this case, we are giving the index. Where is that? Yeah, here. Okay, so we'll see switch. Okay, we can just go through this if you want. Java later introduced for in the style of Python. For X in L, do something with X. This is similar to what we so now. But the syntax is like this: for each data type X in A, do something with X. X is that element. Yeah. Now we'll come to switch multi-way branching. So why we have switch selects between different options. So we have different that options are given by the cases. Okay, according to the option, we can do anything that we want. For example, I'll show this example. If you want to print the day name according to the number. Okay, so I'm giving 1 2 3, only 1 2 3. Okay, for Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And if it is 1, then I have to get this Monday. If it is 2, I have to get this Tuesday. If it is 3, I have to get Wednesday. And if it is something different from 1 2 3, I should get invalid day. Okay, finally printing here. I'll take one more time. So see here, we have day equal to 1, and here we have a string day name. Okay, and here we start with the switch syntax. Switch, and it takes day. It should take some int or a string or something that is valid. It cannot take condition and all here. It should be a proper value. And here, this one, you see this one. So if the day that we pass here is 1, that's how you should read. If the day that we pass here is 1, then day name is initialized with Monday. Okay, and if the day that we pass here is 2, then day name is initialized with Tuesday. Same for 3. And if it is other than 1 2 3, then we have this default block here. Then the day name will be assigned with this value invalid day. Okay, and then finally we are coming out of the switch, this one, this closing bracket, and then printing day is day name. We will give the value of day here and day name here. So here I have initialized day with 1, right? So so this will become true. Case 1, right, will come into this block. So day name will be Monday, and we got day 1 is Monday. Is that clear? I will explain break after this.
Ma'am, can you repeat once?
Okay, so you see here we have a day equal to 1, and day name we have not initialized with anything here. Okay, and what I want is, according to the day I have here, the day value I have here, I want to update the day name. Okay, if I
Okay.
change this to 2, now I got day 2 is Tuesday. How? So day equal to 2, day name nothing. We came here. So day, according to the day, this one of the cases will be executed. So day is it will check with the first case 1. But we have the day as 2. So we'll skip this and we'll come to the next case 2. 2 is 2, matching. So we'll come into this block. Now day name will be initialized with Tuesday. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
we got day name is day 2 is Tuesday.
It's
here-
like format, right? Format type in Python.
Mm,
String format.
not exactly. I
We
think
are
it's
just we are just changing the variables inside what we require in that
actually,
sentence. Day
yeah,
two
yeah.
is
Actually, we can do more than this. Like this is a very simple thing. We can do something uh, complex than this. So we can have many statements doing something here according to a case, not just formatting.
okay. So we can also do some calculations.
Yeah, yeah. So for example, we can have a calculator. We can have this variable as some string variable operation equal to operation, and we can give different add, subtraction, multiply, case, add, case,
Okay.
multiply, etc. And according to the case, it can go inside and do whatever.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Yeah. And so here we got it correctly, right? A2 is Tuesday, and we'll see one more for default case. So if I give 6, we don't have case 6, right? So we got day 6 is invalid day. So it went to default block and day name became invalid day. So day 6 is invalid day. That got printed. Okay. Now let's see the importance of break. And
Ma'am, is it possible to declare a case with the string type?
yeah, string is allowed. So you see here, yeah. Now I have, okay, day 1, right? Okay, I'll keep one only. It's correct. So day is equal to 1, and we enter here, and case 1 day name equal to Monday, right? And we expect we should get day 1 is Monday, right? But what we got is day 1 is Tuesday. Why this happened?
Due to the break statement, ma'am. We have only declared that in the
Yeah,
case
due
1.
to the absence of break statement from case 1, right? So once a case is resolved, then you have to add the break so that it shouldn't go to the next case. So if you do not add a break, what will happen is it will go to the next case till it encounter a break. If I remove break from here, then we will get day 1 is Wednesday, right? So it came here, and then no break here, so it will come to case 2, day name will become Tuesday. No break here, it will come to case 3, day name will become Wednesday, and then here we have a break, so it came out of switch. So we got day 1 is Wednesday. Clear, right? So it is always important to add break after every case.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah,
Ma'am, can we have multiple conditions in one? Like suppose if it's 1 or 5, then Monday. How to write that?
you can add comma. This will work. The new syntax.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So separate whatever values that we want in the cases, we just put it separated by commas.
Yeah. If it is or, you can do something like that. Yeah.
Ma'am, is like it could be either or. Like
Yeah, I understood. If it is 1 or 2, you want whatever that is there in that case, right?
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, ma'am, for and
So
also and
column
statement?
should be, sorry.
Is there also a syntax for and statement, something like a and two, or sorry, one and two?
Oh, sorry. Oh, I said it's for and, right? 1 and 2. Um, okay, wait. Okay, I'll check it. Anyway, we shouldn't stop here, right? I'll check that both case or and, right? Yeah. Anyway, we have this option of comma, but that will work for and, I guess. 1 and 2, if both are same, we have to do something. Okay. Yeah. I'll check for the or case. Yeah.
I don't know, ma'am. I'm just asking. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'll check it. I'll check it. Yeah. Even colon, the syntax is not even colon. It's arrow actually for this case. Anyway, I'll check that part or and. Okay. And as you seen, we can use anything, string or int or anything, but we can't use conditionals. That also you have to remember. Yeah. Now we'll see about functions. So last day we were stopped when we were discussing about static methods and instance methods, right? The difference. I was not able to deliver it properly. Why exactly we need static methods, right? So this sentence is very clear. Static methods are usually used for utility methods that do not require any instance specific data. So I'll start with a function. Here I have a single class that has a one is our main method and the normal static method for the class main. Yeah, see here. This is a function declaration, right? In Java, we have to give the access specifier. If not, it will take the package private thing, default one, nothing. This is to specify whether it is static method or not. You just remember static methods are class methods. It belongs to the class itself. Then the return type of the method, and here is the method name. Here is the parameters, the arguments. Here what we are doing, returning a plus b, okay, as an int. And in the main method, we are giving x equal to 5, y equal to 10. We are calling the add method. In this case, we can call directly because it is the main method is inside the main class itself, in which we have the add method. But I'll just add main so that you won't get confused. So we call the static method using the class name. So add method is present in class main. Okay. As it is a static method, I can call it directly using the class name main dot add x comma y, the parameter. 5 and 10 will be passed and we will get the sum 15. Correct? And so this one, static methods are usually used for methods that do not require any instance specific data. So, yeah, class math. So math class is present in LAN package. So in class math, you see this methods absolute, and then which we commonly use max method, min method, etc. So you see these are static methods, and what we are giving as the input for this max method, some variables, right? Some values for this float a and float b, for this int a and int b, correct? Same for min. Same for if you want to generate some random numbers, you don't give anything at all, right? To find the sign of some numbers, you give some value here. So these methods are called as utility methods, which actually do not require the object of a class. So what does it mean? You can simply pass some value and use that method, but you need some class. You need these methods to be declared inside some class. Only then you can use it, correct? But you don't need an object of that class to call this method. So such kind of methods are made as static methods. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am. It is like we don't need any extra function so that we can use them. It is given for a given class.
Yeah, right. So for the length function, string, where is string? Yeah. So the other methods, regular methods, we can call it as instance methods, okay? So for example, this char at, okay, char at, if we give the index, then you will get the character at that particular index of what? Of some string object. So in this case, we actually need a string, right? An object of string we require. On that string, you can check, you can get the character at some particular index. So such kind of methods are instance methods, which actually require an object to call it. Only then it is useful. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am. It is. We cannot call a carrot without passing a string object. It's not
Right,
meaningful. Right.
right. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you repeat that static one?
Static ones are like we can use those methods without an object. And thing is, we don't require an object itself to call those methods. For example, if you want to add two numbers and you have this method inside this functions class, right? So
Yes.
you don't need an object of functions class to call this method. Correct. So we can make this add method as static method. Otherwise, what we will do? We will create an object functions f equal to new functions and f dot add, and we will give these values. But we don't have to do that anyway, because we are not using f anywhere in this particular method. Correct.
Okay. F.
Yeah.
We are not using F means the
The object
function.
f, an
Um,
object of f. Yeah. So to add two numbers, you have to pass two numbers, right?
yes.
That numbers you can pass from anywhere without creating the object of functions also you can give, correct? It won't depend on the object that you create. You can say in that way also.
Ma'am, math.py and math.pow, is it a valid function, static function? Is it not?
Math.py is a constant, right? I think pi is a constant available here.
Math.py.
If so, whether it is in Python or Java, that I am confused. We'll confirm this here.
Math class. Ma'am, because it calls the math class, no?
Yeah, it's there. It's a field. It's a constant that we have in mm, math class. Yeah,
So it's a static method.
static value, static variable.
But we have to refer the class as well, no?
Yeah, we have to refer the class as well. If you want to use pi value, then you can call math.py.
Oh. Ma'am, you mean to
Ma'am,
say that we don't have to create an object in order to call that method. We can simply call from the class itself.
Class itself, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, shall I move to next one?
Ma'am, what does it mean by we don't require to get the object?
So I think you didn't get what I said. Mm, okay. What I will do is, suppose we don't have a string, okay? Then, okay, first I will say about the math itself. So you see this x and y value, and I want to find the sum of these two values, okay? What I
Yes.
can do, or yeah, max of these two values, then what I can do is I can simply call okay, I am trying to find maximum of 5 and 10, okay, and I just need a function that will return me the maximum of these two values, and I know that this particular function is present in the math class, okay, and I'm able to call it directly without creating an object of math class, okay. I have not done something like math m equal to new math constructor calling, and then using the math object I'm calling this. I have not done this, right? It doesn't require this object itself. Even if I create math object m, I don't require it. Without creating the math object also, without having a dependency on the math object, I can still use the max function of class math, because the
Okay.
max function is static. Why we made max function as static? Because same thing, it doesn't have a dependency on the object of math class, right? It doesn't need any instance variable of the class math to find the maximum of any two values, right?
So it is inbuilt already. We can use it in any file, right?
uh, we have to call the class name. Yeah, we have to import the package, but this is in lang package, so it's imported by default, but we don't have to create an object. Now this max function doesn't have a dependency on the object of class math.
Okay.
Yeah, but you see, for example, I want to find character at some index 4 of something, right? If I simply give string dot char at of 4, does it make any sense?
No.
Like, like for what I am trying to get the character, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Yeah, which means this caret method need an object of string, correct? It needs some
Yes.
string. So such kind of methods are made as instance methods.
Okay.
Clear? At 4. So this caret method depends on the object of string. So such kind of methods are instance methods. They cannot be made as static methods.
So the main difference is, ma'am, the object dependency, right?
Right,
That is the
right.
main difference.
Yeah. So these kind of helper methods or utility methods like add, max, min, etc. are made as static methods. And you see this class array, we have a class called arrays, And this arrays has lot of methods, and all these are static methods, which means they don't depend on an object of arrays, class arrays. It doesn't depend on an object of class arrays, but these methods are helpful for any array that we create, like int array, string array, etc. So this class arrays contain all the helper methods for our normal arrays that we create using square brackets. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Anyway, yeah, you got it
So
right.
average, average method or something like which do not require the math dot something like that, it will be a
Ob-
static.
yeah, object. If it is not depending on the object of that class, they are static.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Alright. Now, so we have already seen this many times, how to define a class and all, right? Still, I'll just take you through. What is it? Reading input we have seen in the last session, right? So I'm not taking it, okay? Okay, anyway, I'm not saying it. So how to define a class? So class student, and the variables that we put inside a class can be called as instance variables. Instance means object, the object variables. So I'm keeping string name and int age. Okay, and then we have to initialize these values, right? For that we have something called constructor. So constructor is a special function that is called when you create an object. So string n int a, you'll see variety different way of doing this constructor. Okay, initializing values like this dot name equal to n, this dot age equal to a. This means it's like self in Python. Basically, it is referring to the current object from whatever object that we are calling, that one. So I'll show this here. So I am creating student s1 equal to, this is how we create an object. So when you create an object, the object will be created in the heap memory and the values will be initialized.
So what, ma'am, what do you mean by heap memory?
Heap memory is
Yes.
part of memory, main memory. So the objects will go into the heap memory.
It means
You have
what?
seen this in week 1, right? The difference between stack memory and heap memory.
Can you repeat what you just said?
It is discussed in detail in week 1, difference between stack memory and heap memory. So in stack, it's a part of memory where you will add all the variables that we create inside a function and all, local variables. Normal, this S1 will go into stack memory. And heap memory is like for dynamic allocation. So while runtime, whatever you create, it will go into the heap memory. So the student object will be created at runtime. So this will go into the heap memory.
Okay, ma'am. As you said, S1 will go into stack memory.
S1 will go into stack memory. The reference variable will be stored in the stack memory, and the object will go into the heap memory.
But S1 is an object, no, ma'am.
S1 is a reference variable. It is not an object by itself. It's a reference variable.
Got it.
Okay.
Means you want to
It
say
will
the
come
declarations
from-
goes to the stack memory.
You can think it of like that, yeah. Now, this is how we create student class and student object, right? And more things, yeah, this one. You see, I'll add modifiers. So, sorry, accessors to return name of an object. Okay, name. There are many things to be learned, but I'm not going into everything. Okay, we'll see later so that you won't get overwhelmed in one session itself. Return age. Okay. So I want to get the name. So I'll get the name here. I will print it.
System.out.println.
Yeah. So, okay. So you see, I got null here, right? And if I print age, I got 0. So what's happening? We have given value Leah and 35 for name and age, but we are getting null and 0. So null and 0 are actually default values for name and age. So for string, default value is null, and for int, default value is 0. So we are getting that, right? So this assignment operation here is the issue. So when we give name equal to name, this is not taking this name, right? So the name of the object is initializing with its own. So basically this name will become name itself and age will become age itself. So the original default values of the object will get initialized. So what we have to do, either you can change the parameter name or you can specify this dot name and this dot age. Now this dot name will refer to the name of the student object and the second name will refer to the parameter that we give here. Okay, earlier name equal to name means it was referring to it was not referring to this name, it was referring to this name, it was simply assigning itself, and name and age was simply default values. Now when you give this keyword, this dot name, this will refer to the name of the student object and this is the parameter that we pass. Now this will initialize it properly. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, instead of using the same keyword as instant variables like name and age, what if we use different instant variables? Instant.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No
in the
issues.
student
Understood,
function.
understood. Here, if you change this, and if you are not using this, no issues. If you use also, no issues. If you are not using also, no issues. But the variable names are different. Then it will properly take name equal to n and age equal to a.
Ma'am, can you please, keep it there, ma'am. Yeah, scroll down the terminal a bit, ma'am. If you can just reduce the terminal height a bit. Yeah.
Ma'am, in this case, it is taking the actual name and age,
Yeah.
but we are not using this also.
Because we
Why
don't
so?
have any problem of name resolving, right? So we have
Okay,
one name, one n, one age, and one a.
okay.
Ma'am, if we don't want to use get name and get age, and if you just kindly go to the system out print, and then, yeah, line number 17, 18,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, understood. If you are simply accessing it here, we will be able to access because these are not private, right? The next one dot age, we will get it.
But
Okay,
before
now,
use this here, no ma'am. Should we use this?
sorry.
If we had used this dot name over there, like there will be no requirement of using this in line number 17 and 18.
No, here too, we don't have to use this and all. We
Oh, I
are referring it with
object.
the
Oh,
name
sorry.
itself, object. Yeah, yeah. We have proper name, right? This one. Now, if I make this, okay, I'll just develop it here itself. Now, if I have this variables are private, you see here, name has private access in student. So, okay, this is class student and this is class main. In class main, we have created the object of student and here we have tried to access name, right? Earlier it was fine, but now we have made the variables as private. So when we have private variables cannot be accessed outside this class. Okay. So in class name, even though we create the object of S1, we cannot access name or age as it is private. Now here, if you want to get the name, now the only way is to get it through the public methods that we have inside the class student. So we say this concept as encapsulation. Yeah. So we got it. Lian 35 we got it because we are accessing it through the public accessor methods. We call it as accessors, getters. Okay. Similarly,
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
here
yeah.
the word get in the function, is it syntactic?
No. You can give anything. It's just a method name.
Okay. It has to be just public, right?
Yeah. So within the
ma'am,
rules are there within the package. Okay, we'll learn all these things later. Now for now you keep it as public. Okay. Yeah. Any other doubt?
ma'am, when do we use private? Why not use public itself?
So it is always better to keep the instance variables as private because we may have information that we don't want other classes to access directly. So it is better to keep the variables as private.
But
But
ma'am, we
we
are
can access it through get method, right?
Yeah, but still, this is allowed only for
No,
the objects
it
that.
is like the programmer is giving access. We can control that, right? It is on
Hmm,
the programmer's end. Here we are using that to show the example.
right. So now I will see.
So it is like someone can give their date of birth, and from there we can get their age and show that instead of showing their date of birth. So we can use private instance of their date of birth, but instead of showing that, we can show the public instance of public variable, let's say of age, something like that.
Correct. So as it is private, now you cannot directly set s1 dot age equal to. If I want to change, I cannot do this. This will give an error. Now what I can do is I can add a method called setter. So here this will take a value some a and then age equal to a. Here I will change. Set age, I am changing the value to 45. Now I'm printing it again here. Okay. So we can have as many accessor and modifier. So either you can call setter or getter or accessor or modifier. Okay.
Ma'am,
So yeah.
if you can kindly go back to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ma'am, as in for private instance variables,
Mm.
if we have to change them or access them, we have to use either getters or setters method,
Correct.
and these have to be public always.
This has to be public, right? So this is a combination of private instance variables and public accessor and modifiers. So you
And we
cannot
can,
directly change it, but you can do it with these methods. Yeah.
so we first have to create an object, and then we'll have to use these getters and setters to access the instance variables
Yeah.
that are private.
Initially, right. But initially we can set it using the constructor. While you create the object, that is allowed here, right? So initially you are initializing the value for name and age using the constructor here. Later, if you want to make any change, you have to use these methods.
Yeah, I get it. For object creation, the constructor is there, like it's okay. But the constructor,
Yeah.
ma'am, doesn't have any what
Effect.
we call access modifier. The constructor doesn't have.
I mean, constructor itself is like a method. So here though, it doesn't have any connection with these methods. So it's like just for creation of object, you create an object, you initialize the value.
Okay.
The first initialization, yeah, that's it. When you create an object, you give some value if you want to give some value. So there are different cases again. So if you do not give a constructor, so here you can't use this. Simply you call this. So if you see, we don't have a constructor here. And now still we can see the value of name is null and age is 0, right? It got initialized. So it is said that, I mean, it is actually the JVM provides a constructor by itself, a no argument constructor. So which will look something like this, which will be something like, it gives the default value. So default value is null, right? It's a string. And age is 0. So it will look something like this. So this is called as default constructor. And one more thing is, you can have multiple constructors. You can have 3 argument, 2 argument constructor according to how you want. If you just want to initialize a name, you can have a constructor that just initializes the name. Similarly with age, you have something called copy constructor as well. Okay, anyway, I'm stopping it here, and we'll see the more different varieties of constructors and all in the next session. And Danya will take PPAs. Sorry, yeah, PPAs.
Ma'am, is it possible for you to share that document? I know it's your personal document, but it will be helpful.
Yeah. This is actually inside this folder. I think I have added it in the calendar itself. You see this?
Is it there, ma'am? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, okay. I have added the Tuesday session, right? Inside this folder, you will find this. Okay, I'm stopping it here. Danya, you are there, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, you can start.
Am I audible? Hello, everyone.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay. So we can directly go to the practice coding. I will share my screen. All the theory part has been deeply covered. Yeah. So basically, I am discussing practice programming assignments in our portal. There are 2 questions. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Or- So this is our first question. Has anybody tried our practice programming assignments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So okay. So
Ma'am,
basically,
can you zoom it?
yeah, sure. Is it okay now?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So this
Ma'am,
comes.
you can go one level up. Everything. Yes.
Oh,
No,
all right. So in this question, the whole objective of this question is to understand or like be thorough with how to define a function method inside a class, right? So you can just go through this question. So it has 2 classes basically. We have a normal class which is not even public, and we have a public class. Here I have given name Q1, question number 1. I have given the same name for the uh, file name. I hope all these things are already something you already know, right?
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
I know that.
Okay. So inside this public class, I have a main function. Uh, and what is, let's see what's happening inside the main function. We are first, can anybody tell what this particular line of code is doing?
We are setting up a scanner object so that
Yes,
we
a
can
scanner
read that
object with,
input from the terminal.
yeah, input stream, right? Okay. Then here we are basically trying to get uh, s- uh, integer values from the terminal, right? We can type in the values in the terminal, and this integer variable will take those integers, right? So basically, this is almost same as this function. Sorry, this line of code. So this is part of the question. So I have kept it the same. Am I clear? Can
Ma'am,
anybody?
system
Yes,
dot
ma'am.
in will change if we are taking the string.
Sorry. No. This line of code is just creating a scanner object. This is just like creating any other object, right? Say any other. So here we have a rectangle class, right? How do we
Yes.
create a rectangle object? What is the syntax to create a rectangle object?
It is a 30th line, ma'am. 30, line number 30.
Sorry.
We will
It is
take.
there in the line number 30.
Yeah, it is there in the line number 30. So we will have the class name and we will give a name to it. And using this new, we are, and this constructor, right? We are creating a rectangle object. Similarly, we are creating a scanner object with this argument of input string. Actually,
So
I'm not seeing the meet window. So if there is anything, you can just unmute and tell. Yeah.
Ma'am, line number 24, 25 unable to relate with line number 27, 28.
Yeah, it is actually doing the same. I have just copied from the portal. So I am not, this has some use which is not important right now. So just try to understand it just like that. We will learn all these things in later classes, later weeks.
Okay.
Then
Oh,
can I add to this?
yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. So basically, next line will read any input as string, right? So what we want is we want to convert that into integer. Okay. So width and height we want to get it in integer form. So integer dot pass int will take that string, then it will convert into int. Okay.
Ma'am, what happens when we are taking some array or some dictionary type of data set?
So basically, array or dictionary type you cannot take it like this. So here though we are expecting it will be an int value, but in the form of a string. So we are able to convert it. Otherwise, we'll get this type compatibility error and all. Arrays
Ma'am,
and all, we can take it using a for loop, etc. Yeah.
ma'am, you said next line.
Like
Yeah. So sorry. Please go ahead.
we use input option in the
Python.
Python. We also used to use some uh, input option only for taking the list, right? Eval dot input, something like that. Can we
Haha.
do that in this also?
Here too, if you want to read input for an array, then you can use a for loop. Like if you want to add one element at a time, you can add this scanner thing inside a for loop. We'll see that. We'll see that as well.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So basically, here there is a string that is happening, and finally we are getting an integer from that string. That is what all these uh, line, this whole thing is doing. So I'm saying conceptually it is something like this, but there is some use for it, which we can understand later, right? Okay. So in the next line, as we already told, we are creating a rectangle object. Okay. Now, then what are we doing? We are calling with this object. From this object, we are calling uh, one method called setW with the argument W, which we have taken already from here, correct? And
Yes.
and we are using another the same similar sort of function with height, h or height. Okay. Then we are calling another function called r dot area. Okay, which and it should be returning some integer, right? That is why we are able to get it using an integer variable here. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then we are printing the area. So this is what basically this program is doing. And here, what our task is to write these three functions: set w, set h, and area. Okay. So shall we begin? I am pretty sure that by now you will be able to do this. So we can code together. Actually, I will write for you. You can just unmute and tell me, or I can ask. So should it be public, or I
Yes,
can
ma'am.
just write
Because we are accessing
just
this function in another class. It has to be public.
okay. Okay. So by for the time being, let's say public. And is it returning something? So what is the syntax for writing a function? We have access modifier, then we have some either whether it is static or not sort of uh, keyword, and we need the return type, right? Return type, and we have the
Function name and then parameter.
function name, method name, right? Method name, and we have parameters, right? So let us say for the time being, I'm adding public. but actually I can make it without public also, because I want to call this function, this method only from this particular class, right now for the time being. So if I make it default also, like default means without any access modifier, in the default without any access modifier, it can be accessed from throughout the this folder, this package. So I can easily call from here even without public, but for the time being, let us write as public. All these things will be covered later. Okay, so public. Now, should it be static? So let us see. We are calling it through an object, right?
No, it won't be static.
It won't be static, right? And what is the return type?
Void. We are setting, right?
Okay, okay. We are not returning anything. We are just setting this parameter with a particular integer we are giving as argument. Okay. So this is set w, and inside this, what should I write? What should be, how should it be?
Type of the parameter int.
Type of the parameter, it's an int, and I'm writing w, right?
With
Or I can write it also. That is also fine. Then I need not use this keyword, correct? So here,
Yes.
what should I do?
this dot w equal to w.
This dot w equals w. All right. So one method is done. So I'm just copy pasting this here. Just need to change it as x x x.
Ma'am, how did
Correct.
you shift to the lines shortcut?
Okay, that is in VS Code only. Shift and Alt, and then you can press arrow.
Shift alt arrow.
Ah,
Okay.
select it and shift Alt arrow. Okay. So it will copy. If you just have Alt, then it will just move without copying. Okay, you can look it up in the for the in the net. Okay. So okay. So we have these two functions. Then what about this function? I'm writing public. Then what is the return type here?
It's going to
Let's
be int.
see.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be int, and method name is area. And does it have any parameters?
No.
No parameter.
Yeah, yeah. So I can write. So what should it return now?
Height into width.
Oh, return height into width. Okay. Let's see what will happen.
Why not this dot h and this
This
dot
dot
w?
h.
Ah, right. Uh,
I
now,
think, ma'am, it will also work without this.
without this, yeah. Let us see without this. No. Without this, it's not working. It requires this. Okay. Now let us give width first, then height. It should give 120. Okay, so it is working properly. I think there is nothing more to explain here, right? Is everything clear?
Ma'am, will you
Ma'am, the
just go
area
back?
is. Sorry,
Ma'am,
you please continue.
thanks. Ma'am, if you go to the part where you defined set H and set W,
Okay.
all of this is within the rectangle class.
So I'm not able to hear you. Can you repeat, please?
I'm saying all of this is within the rectangle class.
Yeah, all this is a rectangle class from here till here.
Okay.
Ma'am, while
Yeah.
setting, we were not using the static function, but while getting the area also we are not using it. When we will use a static.
Okay, we will see it in the next example. So, in the next example, we are using, we can see, but here, yeah, let us see in the next
Why
example.
in the area we are not taking static, ma'am?
Okay, so this height and this width is particular to this particular object, right? R. So say I have one more object here, R1, right? And
Yes.
I'm setting this as say some 1 and 2. Okay, so this its area is going to be different, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, so that means if I just call area, it's not making any sense, right?
Yes.
Okay, is it clear? Again,
Okay.
in the question you have in the main in the question, all these can't be edited, right? The only place you can edit is here. So there
Okay.
the question is R dot area. So specifically, it's not static, right?
Okay.
But
Okay. Okay.
it is not making sense here also, and we can
Okay.
understand it in this way also, right? Okay. Shall
Yes.
we? Is there any other
Yes.
doubt, or can we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am. Please move.
Okay, so this question, maybe you can just go through the question once. So the program should accept a string input and print the characters at even indices. So here, if the input is Microsoft, it should print this character at the 0th index, second index, fourth index, sixth index, right, like that. Okay, so so basically, there is a loop happening here, right? So, can you see a loop, presence of loop here? We are looping through the string which we got
Yes, ma'am.
is, yeah. So this is basically a question to practice loops. Let's see what loops we can use. So here, how many classes are there in this file? Only one class, which is public. I have named it same as file name, and I have a main function in this. As in the previous question, we have a scanner object here. Using that, I am getting next. Next means uh, what type of object I am getting from the terminal. Next int with next int I can get integer. with next, I can get a string, right? Okay, so here we took, here in this, it is next int, but here it is next. Next will basically return a string object.
Okay, ma'am. Means by default is string like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So if we need a string from the input stream, you should use next instead of next int, right? Okay. So here I'm calling a function method event display s1. So what is so peculiar about what all can you say about this? The way I call this function.
Like there has to be a object passed to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Here there is no object, right? We are calling it directly. So, so what sort of function it should be? What sort of method it should be? Okay, so usually in the
Even static, ma'am, static.
we know a it should be static, right? Right.
Yes, it is
Okay,
also
so
declared inside the static variable, static void main. So it
yeah,
also has to be declared as static.
okay.
Yes, yes.
So here we are supposed to define this particular method. Can anybody start? What should be the
Ma'am, sorry, we are calling this event display where outside the Q2 or inside Q2?
it? We are calling it inside the main method.
But it's still within the class
Since
Q2.
since we are calling it
It is
inside the
within the
main method,
class.
which
Okay,
Yeah.
then we can use static.
Uh, sorry.
Then we can use for define event display. We can
You
use
are
static.
telling there is static keyword is not required.
No, I'm saying that we can use static, right, ma'am? Since we are calling it within the same class,
Uh-huh.
we have to.
we can call the event display. We can call it call it a static event display function.
Yeah. We have to call it static.
Because it is in the same class. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. I actually I didn't get the question.
No. It is not because it is in the same class. It is because it is declared in a static void main.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, okay,
It
okay.
is declared inside the display, even display inside a static void main.
No, it is like it is
No, not
we were
declared. It's called.
Yes,
it
yes.
is
It is called inside a method that is itself static. So it has to be by default static, the function itself.
no. That is
No?
not no.
Okay.
So say here we have called function inside a static function only, right? Here is a main static function, and we have called a function method which is not static, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that is not the case. This function itself should be static. Let us see what happens, right? Let's start coding and see what is going to happen. So
And then this is because it is not operating on any object of this class. That's what. Is it
yeah,
something like
correct.
okay.
It is just taking a string and just like maximum of 1 and 2, as ma'am explained right now, maximum of 1 and 2, or uh, yeah, you. I hope you
It is
have
not dependent on
character it.
object of this class. Right.
Sorry.
I am saying, ma'am, the event display method, it is not dependent on any object of this class.
Yeah.
Right. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's start public. Now we have we need a static. We will see what happens if we don't have static also. Okay. Now what should it return?
Void.
No, it's returning something. Should it return void?
Sorry, yeah, it should return.
We can print now.
No,
Yeah,
it is just
one
printing,
second,
ma'am.
one
It is not
second, one
returning
second.
anything.
Oh.
Yeah, it is just printing, so it is void. Ah, so even display, and it should take as argument as string. String, let's say str. Okay. Now, so what should I do within the function, within the method?
For loop.
Yeah, for loop. So for. So what is the syntax? First is initialization, then then we have
Condition.
condition, and we have
Update.
update. Yeah, and we have a for loop like this. So what should be the I need to go through loop through this string. Okay, so I am saying I am giving an index 0, initializing it as 0, and what is the condition? I should be less than the length of string. Okay, we don't know what this length of string is, right? First, we need to get that first. Let us call it length. Okay, how to get the length of string?
String dot length.
String dot length. Is this enough? Or
No, with
now
that.
it is a, yeah, now we need, it means that it's a method we are calling. So before that, okay. Okay. So so we have taken the length of the string first. I hope all these things are clear why this is string dot length and all. So with this is a string object called str, which we are passing through the method, the when we call the method, and that object dot method will return an integer that we are getting using this particular variable. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here I should update. So in the update, usually we do this, right?
Yeah.
So but here we can do this also, and then we can check if I is even, and then if I is even, print that character. That is also possible. First, we will try that, and then we can also do one thing. We can do plus equals 2, which can jump, like hop from 0 to 2 to 4. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we can do this first. Okay. Now I need to take the character at ith index from the string, right? So how do we do that? First of all we are taking a character. So let me first define that. Okay. Now see, is this fine?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, we have to use something.
We have to use a character method. Character.
Yeah. So how do you know all this? We can always look at the documentation, and we will see that there is some method called character x, which will return a character, which at index I. Okay. Okay. So uh, now we have the character. Now let us print this. System dot out dot print. Can I use print ln?
No, ma'am. We have to return in the same line.
The same, yeah. Ln C.
See.
Let us see what happens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now it's asking for one input. I am giving Microsoft. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted, right? Now let us see if we don't have this static keyword here, right? Yeah, it is giving an error. Non-static method cannot be referenced from a static context. Okay. All right. Can I avoid this public? That is fine, right? Sorry.
So, ma'am, it is if it is not declared as public, by default it will be public, something like that.
By default. So I think all this will come in the later weeks. So when it is not public, by default it is visible to all the classes in this package.
Only in this package.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it is default. When it is public, then it is visible outside also. Okay.
Ma'am,
I can call it
even
from,
display is a function we created, right? It's
yeah,
not inbuilt.
yeah. Like by everywhere, what I meant is from outside this function anywhere and another folder like that, not like outside. Is that what you asked?
Sorry?
So by when it is public, it is visible outside the package means from outside the folder anywhere I can access it by importing it properly. All these things we can learn later. So by now, I think this is more than enough. We know how to define a function. We know how to go through the uh, uh, loop through a string. And all this while loop, uh, constructor, all these things are something you already know, I think, right?
Ma'am, we can solve this using for each also.
For each, what happens is, okay, so what happens in for each is, so here we have to skip one character, right? So
We have to
I can,
print only the characters that
yeah,
even in this.
yeah. So that will be difficult, right?
There is no way we can give some condition to for each.
For
It has
each,
to be all the consecutives it will take.
we can just, I am not able to come up with any idea like that. We can
Okay.
think about it. Maybe we can post it on Discourse and we
Okay, ma'am.
can, yeah. Right now, I don't think.
I am not understanding what is you are asking. What are
So
you asking?
I'm
she's
asking.
asking, yeah. she's asking, can we use for each? For each in the sense, we just studied this syntax, right? For uh, character C, then this, and our string, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That
So
method.
this, she's asking, can we use this? But I am not able to come up with a way to skip consecute, not what you say, alternate uh, loop, like alternate uh, things, printing.
Characters.
Yeah, characters. So another way you can do is there will be multiple ways. So here I can just go through just each character and print only if, so we can put all this inside an each block. Mm, if I modulus 2 equals 0, then only do this. Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, that is also another way. This is also another way, right? Okay. So I think that's all. Uh, so, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any doubts? All right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I had a question about heap memory actually.
Oh,
So, in the week one lectures, sir had explained that for some languages you have to manage the heap memory manually. But what happens in Java? Like, how do you allocate heap memory in Java?
sorry. I think ma'am can take this.
Yeah. So when you create objects and all, it will go into heap memory. So whatever that is created at runtime. And for deallocation, what happens is we have something called automatic garbage collection in Java. So wherein this automatic garbage collection, it will check whether some reference variables are pointing to the objects in the memory or not. So according to that, if some objects are remaining there without any reference variable, then it will simply remove it. So manually we don't have to do anything. It is taken care of by the Java programming language itself.
Okay, so in Java, we don't have to do anything with the heap memory. It's
Yeah.
all automatic. But for which other languages do we have to manually handle it other than C and C++?
Other than C and C++, I'm not sure. For C, yeah, we have to deallocate using free method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
In
and
Python also it's automatic garbage collection.
okay, ma'am. Because in I think the first grade assignment, there's a question about heap memory allocation, but it's not specified like for which language or something.
Can you share it if you
Uh,
have it?
yes, ma'am. I'll just tell you what the question is.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's basically you have to say whether the statement is correct or not. And the statement is that memory in the heap must be explicitly allocated by the programmer.
Wait. You have not shared your screen yet.
Oh, okay, sorry. Um, Ma'am, is my screen visible now?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So this in question 11.
Okay, this is like which are the following statements about the heap is correct. Okay, this is like generic things about heap. So if you see the statements, the heap is used to store data that is dynamically allocated runtime. Yeah, that is true for all the language.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, activation record for function calls are stored in the heap. No, it is stored in the stack.
Yes.
Okay. Next, memory in the heap must be explicitly allocated by the programmer. So this is specific, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Like it depends on the language, right? So
I mean, allocation can be done by the programmer that you can tick, I guess.
okay, ma'am.
Memory,
So we are allowed to allocate in Java also. Like it's
yeah, allocation we are doing, right? When we create object, we actually do it.
okay. Okay. So yeah, in a way, it's like explicitly allocating it.
Right.
Okay.
And last one, memory allocated on the heap cannot be deallocated. That is not true.
That's not
We can
correct.
deallocate. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Got it. So it can be done in Java, but it's when we create an object, it happens.
Right. Right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Then we can end the session, right? Thank you, Danya. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.